All right, YouTubers, this is your Hindsight Physical Media of Obsessive back again with part two of the Big Pool. I'm going to cover regular case Blu rays, which I have, of course, as I've explained before, slimmed down to slim cases. Gonna cover titles H through R. So, we're gonna get right at it. So, beginning with Haywire. Heat. I actually tried to. I bought the remastered and the 4K and all that, and um, always came back to the pre-remastered version because I just thought that the remaster was just simply too dark. And on top of that, the DVD of this particular movie has what I perceive to be um, a wider sound spacing. Check out the DVD versus the Blu-ray of the vaunted gunfight. Um, the Blu-ray has more punch and is more percussive, but to me, the DVD was more expansive, in which I could just hear what was going on down the street. Let me know what you think on that. Hell or High Water. Surprisingly, very enjoyable movie. One of the movies I struggle to ascertain whether it is actually sponge worthy or not, and make it a 4K affair. We've got Hidalgo, one of my first Blu-rays, as I recall. Highlander, there can only be one. The High Note, surprisingly, very entertaining, light, romantic type movie with Dakota Johnson and Tracy Ellis Ross, which is a pairing you wouldn't imagine at blush, but it does work here. Got Hitman, Hitman's Bodyguard, Hollow Man. Don't think this movie gets the credit it deserves. This is another Paul Verhoeven movie, RoboCop, and other things, and so you know he's going to be graphic in his depiction whenever he can get away with it, which makes for a very effective movie. Got Hollywoodland, movie in which Ben Affleck actually plays George Reeves, who plays Superman. So, in effect, Ben Affleck's the only actor to play both Superman and Batman. Hostiles, Hotel Artemis, Hot Tub Time Machine, The Hunt. Excuse the glare. I apologize for that. The Hurt Locker. I Am Legend. I, Robot. I, Tanya. The Imitation Game. In Bruges. The International, which actually is a beautifully shot movie. Interview with the Vampire. Never thought I'd get a movie with a Justin Timberlake lead, but here it is. In Time. Very good time waster here. The Invitation. The Informant. Ingrid Goes West. Quirky little joint. Highly entertaining. The Insider. I know it got award nominations and whatnot, but I just don't think this particular movie gets the credit it deserves. This is one of those thinking man's movies that has a tremendous payoff with a tremendous cast. You've got not De Niro, but Al Pacino, Russell Crowe, and who else we got in here? Christopher Plummer, Diane Venora. Again, this is a very underrated movie with your typical Michael Mann players. It's complicated. Give this movie a shot. It struck me, particularly because as a child of divorce, as most of us are, I mean, this pretty much addresses, not that your parents got back together while you were children, but they kind of sort of flirted with it while you were an adult, after it's fairly pointless to do so, and the emotions that brings up. More complicated than you think as a movie. I Saw the Devil. The Island. Got Jason and the Argonauts with the old school, old fashioned, stop motion photography for effects. Jennifer's Body. Jerry Maguire. Steve Jobs. Jojo Rabbit. Going back to Jojo Rabbit here. You got Taika Waititi. I mean, he's the modern day Mel Brooks. Actually, I mean, if you can just take the subject matter of World War II and some graphic depictions within it, and still come out with a comedy, that's Mel Brooks territory. The original Jumanji. Just One of the Guys. One of my favorite 80s high school comedies. Didn't like too many of them. Between this and Last American Virgin, which wasn't that funny, to be honest with you. But two of my favorite movies from the 80s. The Karate Kid. I think one of Jackie Chan's first stateside attempts to be a bit more serious in his output for American audiences. This is not a bad movie. Kick-Ass. Kill Bill 1 and 2. Killer Joe. Underrated movie. Matthew McConaughey shows out in this movie. Check it out. Kill the Messenger with Jeremy Renner. I believe this is his pet project movie, which is a pretty good movie. Hopefully he'll be back on his feet making movies sooner than later. Kingdom of Heaven. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but we're going to be covering H through R in this particular video. King Kong Ultimate Edition. Land of the Dead. The Last Samurai. Again, Tom Cruise doesn't make a bad movie. Law Abiding Citizen. This is a great movie. Great time waster. Lot of action. Don't know why Jamie Foxx didn't pursue more movies along this line. And The Kingdom, not for yucks necessarily, but, a little bit straighter in your approach in the movies, being a little bit more, rough with it. Last Action Hero. Last Dragon, modern classic. Leon the Professional. I know the 4K is supposed to be outstanding in this movie. I mean, in this particular case. Torn between making that move to upgrade it. Let Him Go. Lincoln Lawyer. I've got enough of these Michael McConaughey movies. I may have to admit to being a fan at some point. Limitless. Enjoyed this thoroughly here. Love Actually. The Lost Boys. This I took the remastered blue from the 4K, slipped it in here instead. One moment. We've got Mamma Mia. This movie intrigued me basically because all the actors actually sang their songs in this musical, for better or worse. But they did it. Major League. Men of Honor. Love going back to this movie every so often. Robert De Niro kills me. Calling Cuba Gooding, Cookie all the time. But this is a good movie. Midnight Run. Midsommar. Actually, I haven't watched this yet. I'll have to get around to that. Minority Report. Miracle at St. Anna. This was Spike Lee's personal pet project, and as such, I was expecting more out of it, but for whatever reason, falls somewhat short. Miracle Mile. Moon. The Mountain Between Us. Morgan. Munich. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, My Cousin Vinny, comedic classic. The Negotiator, Nightcrawler, Now You See Me, Obsessed, Don't Judge, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Spike Lee's take on Old Boy with Josh Brolin, Olympus Has Fallen, Once Upon a Time in America, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, we've got Orphan, and of course, Orphan First Kill, which is actually a very solid follow-up or prequel to the first movie. Out of Sight, Outland, Passion of the Christ, The Postman. Don't know why Kevin Costner gets bagged on for his movies during this general time frame, between The Postman and Waterworld and Robin Hood. All of them very entertaining movies, including this one, Not a bad movie to stop down for. A moment. All right, last batch. Postman Always Rings Twice, the original. And of course that means I've got the remake, which is a fairly old remake in itself. I believe this was back in the 80s sometime. One of the more graphic scenes I remember checking out as a kid. Graphic adult scenes, I should say. We've got Predator and Predator 2. Predator 2 does not get the credit it deserves as a follow-up to Predator. Fine movie in itself. The Prestige. Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. This is regarding the creator of the character Wonder Woman and the wheels-off lifestyle he led that led to many components of the Wonder Woman mythos. Promising Young Woman. This movie just jumped up and bit me. Liked this movie thoroughly. This is a seriously damaged woman. Not going to tell you what happens, but check this out. Their Proposal. The Protege. Dearly Beloved, Purple Rain. Queen and Slim. The slightly overrated Raging Bull. Rain Man, Reservoir Dogs. Again, another instance in which I took the remastered Blu-ray, which is a very nice remastered Blu-ray, perhaps the best I've seen as far as remastered Blu-rays go, into this custom cover here. Rescue Dawn, Requiem for a Dream, Revenge. This is a forgotten movie of Kevin Costner's and Tony Scott. This is came out in DVD, and for whatever reason, they didn't like many parts of the DVD. Remixed the score and everything, and some different scenes for the unrated director's cut in Blu-ray. Got Revenge, The Ringer. Don't tell anybody, but I think this is funny. Rise of the Planet of Apes, Road to Perdition, RoboCop 2, The Rock, Roman J. Israel with Denzel Washington. I don't know whether this is a pet project of his, but this certainly flew under the radar. But pretty much like Tom Cruise, I pretty much hold Denzel Washington in regards of it doesn't make a bad movie. So I checked it out. Again, this one just jumped up and bit me. This was a very good movie, very compelling. Broom. To be honest with you, have not checked this out yet. Rounders, Run Lola Run, and last but not least, we have got The Rundown. So, I went through these movies a lot quicker. Didn't want to waste too much of y'all's time. We'll go ahead and finish out S to the end of the alphabet for the remainder of my regular case Blu-rays. And until then, take care of each other, yourself, and have a good day.